Welcome to a brand new episode of TVGP's Critical Misses. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hello.
We're jumping a couple of decades here for 2013's VHS 2. I'm seeing here
Just a
is
couple of decades.
originally titled SVHS, which was a really good title, and I really wish they would have kept that title, but I get it. Not all of us.
No, here is the thing. Okay, so
Uh,
if they're gonna do that,
mhm.
and they've made like, hold on,
I'm gonna guess 6 of these movies. I feel like Moon is looking that up, and
I am
okay, I'm guessing 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Jesus. So for the next this in the next 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
what? Let's go through it because we're of the age.
Mm.
Let's go through the name of each of the subsequent
Okay. Well,
movies.
you
VHS,
obviously
SVHS.
you want to go back to the 80s at some point. You do a Betamax version.
True.
Yeah.
True. There is a VHS 85, which is
Eh?
a couple of years down the line.
See? There you go. I'm
So
picking it up
you,
here.
but it needs to be 3 letters. So what? BTM is that? BTM
Sure, probably.
85.
You do like a DV cam version. Remember those like
I was
super
gonna
tiny
say I was gonna say DVD, which would be VHS 99.
DVD? Oh yes, that would be DVD. Um, I'm trying to think. VHS
We,
UMD. the most.
so then your next one after this is VHS Viral, which I think would be VHS UMD
Okay,
or UMD Viral.
right. Oh man, the UMDs. Mini disc was
I've got a
audio
90.
only.
I've got VHS 94. Can we actually do VHS 94 as DVD 94? And then VHS 99, can we do that as HD DVD 99?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. HD DVD. Yep. Get your Xbox 360 external DVD
Uh-huh.
player. Yep.
Yep.
Oh man. Anyways, we're here for VHS 2 from 2013. The
If you
second.
can't tell, we don't know nothing.
That's right. The second of our 2 horror anthology films for this season here, the Spooky Twofer.
Uh-huh.
It's real. This one's really interesting because I feel like when the first movie came out, I feel like there was a lot of chatter, and maybe that was just Patrick Klepek, but there was a lot of chatter about, hey, you should probably go see this cool horror anthology thing. It feels like it's been a while since we've had one of those. And the like kind of found footage thing that's been on and off hot for a while. I feel like I really haven't heard anything about any of the other 7 movies after that, which I really love that they're just turning these out like horror movies of old. Of like, oh, there are how many Leprechaun movies? There's 14 Leprechaun movies. Okay, cool. When did he go to space? Was that has to be in there? Um, so
So I've only been told I only know of one of the other ones of these, and that's because a friend of the show said, hey, you should really do VHS Beyond at some
ooh,
point.
okay.
And I felt like saying to him, don't worry, bro, we got you in like
Uh-huh.
6 years. We
I
got you.
I feel like I heard that one because I think it was Alana Pierce wrote or directed or starred in one for Beyond, maybe. She's a like longtime video game journalist, now Sony Santa Monica designer, something along that lines. Um, but I feel like I heard that because I follow her stuff, and she was like, "This is super cool.
Yes,
I was in VHS something." So,
she is. She is in VHS Beyond.
all right, my memory's working today. Let's do it. All right, here we go.
Let's give it 6 years and see how we feel about that.
Yeah, it will definitely never happen again. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I haven't. I feel like there's been this kind of groundswell of fondness for these movies, but never really like other
It
than
hasn't really broke mainstream.
Right, like beyond the first one, other than, seemingly flirting with some of the stuff beyond. Um, nobody being like, okay, you don't need to see all the other ones. Don't worry about all the, like, connective scenes that happen. You should really go see this one. And that hasn't really seemed to happen, which is kind of interesting going into this because I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited to watch this after liking the first one way more than I was expecting. And I think
Uh-huh.
not being let down by our last movie, but it not having the kind of like I was hoping the connecting scenes, the like meta commentary stuff would have been stronger in Tales from the Crypt. Um,
Uh-huh.
and that wasn't I felt a little bit let down by that, not in a bad way, but like that's kind of you can kind of see that sort of meta narrative growing over the decades until we get to the part where it's like, of course, VHS has to have, some connecting stuff to tie the whole thing together. We're finding these loose VHS tapes, and they kill people. The usual.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, there are the cursed VHS tapes. We've all been there.
I mean, is that the thing you look to when it comes you look for when it comes to this kind of I always forget the name of these kind of movies. What is
Anthologies.
it? Thank you. Is that the thing you always look for? You would prefer in an anthology is like the one thing that connects and intertwines throughout all of them?
I don't think I really need it. I feel like I might need them to go all the way one way or all the way the other way. Like either you don't have any connective stuff and it's just like the scene fades out and then another scene opens and it has like a title card on it and you're like, okay, well this is a different short in this anthology. Or I want you to
Uh-huh.
have I felt like the first VHS did just enough of these dirt bags breaking into this dude's house and rifling through his tapes and just popping them in and then whoops they're all disappearing. I felt like that was kind
Uh-huh.
of interesting in the way of like you get to see a little bit of how all of these are connected in the thinnest of ways, but I thought that kind of worked for me in the first one, and I I hope they don't do exactly the same thing here for the second one. I hope it's not like we're breaking into this old dude's house. Whoa, it's this guy's house again. Like I really don't want that.
Uh-huh.
But I do hope they have something that connects them all together, even if it's like thematically similar. I just kind of like that of like, okay, here's a reason why we would be watching one haunted VHS tape after another.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to watching this?
I'm excited. I don't know. I don't. My main concern when we do something like this is the horror movie drop off.
Yeah.
Is the how many do we go before absolute garbage happens, and then how long after that do we go before gold happens?
Right.
As someone who's not seen them all, I've only seen Jason X. I don't care what the rest of them like. That is peak horror
Yep.
movie for me.
Yep.
That's my favorite Jason movie. Also the only one I've seen. Don't come at me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm very curious about that
Mm-hmm.
side of things. Like, are we at the drop off point already, or is this still going to be? Yeah, let's keep going.
Well, and that reminds me too of this has been 12 years since VHS 2 came out. So how many of these directors for these movies have gone on to make big budget full theatrical releases off of either this work or like kind of this work and maybe some other stuff like and how many of these directors are from the first movie, if any? How many are people are coming back with like, I'm coming back for VHS 2, we're gonna do another one? Or is it kind of a fresh new crop of kind of up and coming um horror filmmakers? Or is like, are we gonna get to some point where it's just like, oh yeah, here's the fifth VHS movie and it's like four unknowns and Wes Craven, he just made one, which we got him in here. So I'm kind of curious to see once we once we have seen this, looking up the director list and seeing like, oh dang, okay, this dude or this lady made this, and we have seen 4 movies from them since, and they're getting progressively more gruesome.
I always like the concept of using films like this as well to like give like you said, give small people a chance.
Yep.
Give the unknowns the ability to give a shot, kind of thing.
Prove their chops a little bit, being like, hey man, I made a cool like 15-minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great plan for a 90-minute thing. How's that sound? Yeah. All right. Any kind of parting thoughts here for VHS 2?
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it gets at least one jump scare and I poop my pants a little bit.
Yep. I think that's all we're looking for. We didn't have that in the last one, so we're done. We're due for a pants pooping. Yeah. All right. On that note, let's go watch the film.
Yep.
Okay, we're back. We've watched the film. I do want to put a content warning here beforehand. Content warning for suicide in general for like 5 different reasons in this movie. So keep that in mind if you're going to watch the movie, or if you're going to, we're going to treat it with the delicacy it deserves, but in some instances there's kind of no getting around at least discussing it here. In this nightmare movie, which is VHS 2, this unwaking hellscape, I was looking for something that was the opposite of Tales from the Crypt, and shucks howdy, I sure found it in 2013's VHS 2. Jesus Christ.
So the funny thing for me was like, it's potentially really dumb idea of mine, but I was thinking during the whole time of watching this, it's like, we should really add Black Mirror season by season into this list and do like VHS Black Mirror and a classic. Because Black Mirror is an anthology horror of a different kind.
True. Yeah, that'd be interesting. We'll add it to the list. All right, let's start off here with the kind of they call it a frame narrative, what we've been calling the kind of connective stuff here. Tape 49. This is from, the tape 56 was the one from the first movie. This is the one where you're watching the stuff that connects the anthology films here.
Correct.
It's
the Crypt Keeper scenes.
Correct. This is actually directed by Simon Barrett, who wrote the tape 56 stuff from the first movie. So we've gotten...
Was that the overarching stuff from the first movie?
Yes. We've got our first of 3 returning peeps here for this movie. This one is fairly straightforward. 2 private detectives break into a seemingly deserted apartment and find, oh no, a big media setup. I like the callback to the first one where they have a film of the jackasses from the first movie harassing that woman, of like, oh yeah, God, they were the worst. Jesus. They find a laptop that's still recording as the woman of the duo is kind of poking around stuff. There's somebody lurking around the background of the house, and she starts the first tape, which is Phase 1 Clinical Trials. This is directed by Adam Wingard, who directed tape 56 from the first one. So he was the guy that directed that kind of connective film from the first one. He's back to direct the film that I was hoping he wouldn't do this to me again in another VHS, but I guess that's something we're going to keep checking out in all of these movies, which is, hey, there's stuff you can't see. Isn't that a nightmare? And the answer is, yeah, man, it sure is. This sucks.
Yep.
Except this time, it's the undead walking amongst us, unseen. God.
Like, as someone who does like a show all about the supernatural, I love the concept behind this tape. Like the whole, we meet Clarissa later on, and she can hear spirits.
Right, she can't see them,
And
but she can hear them.
yes, and this guy can see them because whatever's going on with this and this implanted eye that he's got,
Yep.
it's now basically picking up the frequencies of ghosts, and that's right in my wheelhouse for
Yeah.
like ghost lore. Like it's right there. Like
Yep.
it's right in my favorite things ever. And oh boy, do I hate the presentation of this one.
It's this will be a through line for this whole film. The VHS 2 as an umbrella film of, boy, this is such a cool way to depict this movie. Like, it really does feel like you're in this dude's skull. And of course it's just, hey, we're just swinging around a camera. But there's something about the movement of it that really works.
Yes.
And you know these jump scares are coming every single time because you can't see anything in this building. And you know he's going to swing his head around. There's going to be a ghost or two there. And it works every single time. Even though I'm just like, oh my god, please don't. Oh my god, there's a ghost. Ah, it's the dad and the kid. God, ghost.
Or there's an arm outlined down the corridor when the light flashes on, and there's the kid.
Oh, I hate it. Oh god. And the
So I can't remember what it was, but someone was once describing their worst fear to me, and this is basically it. Where it's like it's a corridor, and at the end of the corridor, it's pitch black, and at the end of the corridor is a very faint light, and you see something there that you know is there, and then the light goes out, and then when the light comes on, it's coming at you.
oh my
Like
god, it's
that
the
is
worst.
their deepest fear, and it's like, yeah, this. But the way this is shot is incredible. Like
Yeah.
the fact that like it blacks out every like 30 seconds or so as the blinking happens
Oh,
is
it's
just
and
such a nice little touch.
and I think the how most of these films deal with, okay, so I hate this word. I hate the word glitch because it doesn't mean anything. What people really mean is visual bug, but I'm going to use the word glitch because I think it is, this is the most appropriate time to use a word like that. And I love throughout all of these films they use that glitch effect to really powerful uses, especially in something like this where like things get too overwhelming and the eye starts freaking out. And there are some cases where they use it to obscure a huge amount of violence or a huge amount of gore. But I like in this one, it sort of almost turns into this. It's not an unreliable narrator, but like you kind of can't tell what he's seeing and what's real and what isn't and what is just like a visual effect of this eye until you meet Clarissa and she's like, oh yeah, man, you want to hear something weird? Ghosts are totally real, and oh, you're seeing them? That's messed up, man. I can hear them pretty much all the time. That guy's my uncle. Isn't that weird? And I was like, oh, oh, this is the
And
worst.
the implications behind that interaction
Uh-huh.
are horrifying, and they never say it.
Right.
They do the classic horror trope of they let you fill in the blanks,
Right. Ugh.
and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that when Clarissa is introduced, I don't know if you caught this, she has bandages around her wrist pretty constantly.
I didn't notice that.
And after the interaction with the protagonist of this section, I'm choosing my words carefully here.
They had an adult
It
sleepover.
looks, yes.
Yeah.
It looks like a fresh wound has opened because there's blood seeping through the bandages.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know if this was a director choice or an actor choice, but wherever the case may be, after the adult sleepover, she's on the couch, like back upwards, like on the couch, and he pulls the blanket over her. When she rolls over to get more comfortable, she covers her ears with her hands.
Oh, wow.
Which is just a nice little touch of like, you know what? Hey, if you can hear this kind of thing, then maybe when you're trying to go to sleep or are asleep, dampening out any sound you can is probably a good thing.
Right. And I like too that there's that something in the bed fake out early in this. It turns to be nothing.
I don't know how they filmed it. It's so well done.
Yeah, it really is. And then it turns into him being like, "Ah, Clarissa, what are you doing? You kidder. What is it? Oh God, it's the dead kid. Oh God." Um,
Hmm.
I think the drowning scene in this works really well as this, like, you can barely tell what's going on, but you can tell that he's not going to be able to save her from whatever's happening. Um, and that final shot of her on the bottom of the pool as he's leaving the pool is so good. Um, and
And then whatever it is that jumps out of the pool.
yeah, and like it all leading up to him deciding, okay, he decides, I got to get this thing out of my head. I don't want to see the ghosts. I don't want to deal with the ghosts anymore. I don't want to see him. I love the film has the kind of wherewithal to say, okay, I don't want to look at this, because I was like, my thought was, I don't want to look at this. I don't want to say, I don't want to
Uh-huh.
see this happen. You see the like the
Too much?
you see the like razor blade come at his eye, and it starts breaking apart. And then I really love, you get to see the after effects of, hey man, the ghosts are still here. You just can't see them anymore. Guess what you ran into, dude? The ghosts are coming for the ghosts are coming for you, man. And hey, guess who's a ghost now? Clarissa. She died in your
Uh-huh.
house, bro. Like, it's just,
Uh-huh.
it's I the Nine Inch Nails broken ending of like them shoving the eye down his throat is quite a bit there. Um,
Hmm.
and that's kind of the natural ending to that one. One that I kind of like Phase 1 clinical trials. I don't think it's the most successful out of kind of everything we've seen in the two VHS movies, but I think it does a really good job with its kind of core idea here. Um,
Hmm.
how'd you feel about this one before we move on to the next one?
This presentation wise, I think this might be my favorite one. I think it's probably the best filmed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably the best presentation one.
It's very succinct too.
Uh,
Like it stays with this
yes.
idea.
Yeah, and it doesn't go too far. Like I think all in all it's a pretty solid 10 round on this one.
Yeah. We have another interlude here for tape 49. Um, the big thing is the guy that she's watching has this kind of hint that he's found something that happens when you play these tapes in order. Um, and that's kind of it. And she finds another video to find here, which is called "A Ride in the Park." Um, this is the one that I didn't realize I had heard about before. I didn't know where this was, but zombie GoPro was the thing that I heard.
Hmm.
And as soon as the zombies show up, I was like, "Oh my god. Okay, this is zombie GoPro. Okay. This is I'm excited to that I have heard one." And that's pretty much it. He is wearing a GoPro and he gets turned into a zombie, and it's fine. I I wish there was a
Yes.
little bit more to talk about on this one, but it's a very cool idea that I think makes sense for about 5 minutes, and then I'm kind of like, okay, there's you got a lot of zombies here. We're just kind of doing zombie stuff. Okay.
So for me, the three things about this one that really stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, why is it got all zombie content got to have vomiting in it?
And that like black blood vomiting too. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
It's just
I do like his reaction to that lady at the beginning where she starts throwing me. I was like, oh God, oh Jesus. It's just like, I I
uh-huh.
I'm not gonna be much better if I see that. No, you're right, man.
Yep. This is also the Foley artist's dream
Oh my
to
god,
work
yeah.
on this particular short
Uh-huh.
because everything in this is Foley,
Yep.
pretty much everything.
How much
And
squishing noises can you make? Go.
yeah, what variety of squishing noise
Right.
can you make? You
The
know?
the sort of uh on that note, I think my only complaint about this one is the up close chomping that dude's abdomen and the guts.
Hmm.
I'm like, this is like, I don't mind some gore. We'll talk much more about gore here in a minute. Um, but it's like this extended scene of like, okay, I'm kind of, this may be a little goes a long way when it's like a horror movie kind of gore thing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's more than a little gross, we'll
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Probably my least favorite one, mostly because it's very tropish. It's a zombie
yeah,
movie, so it's super duper tropish. Um, the difference being that the zombie does the shotgun to the face trick at the end,
yep.
because he gets a phone call from his
Like
girlfriend.
regains his humanity for a minute. Like it's all
Hmm.
like, I'm with you. It's such a cool idea of what would it look like getting turned into a zombie while you still had a GoPro running. I do love seeing the old school like iPhone and seeing that old OS, and the UI is really good. Um,
Hmm.
but it's kind of like I was kind of bored by it, which sounds like a really weird thing, but it's the coolest idea for a short, and this short feels about twice as long as it needs to be, which is odd because I think it's one of the
Yes.
shorter ones in this. It's just the idea is super cool, and it's the perfect thing for an anthology film of like, well, I'm not making a 95-minute movie out of this, but maybe it overstayed its welcome a little bit. Um, the next interlude here for tape 49, we come back and she just has a big old nosebleed, and is sort of sending the
Uh-huh.
dude away. I really like the shot here as she's getting ready to play the next tape, and she almost seems like she doesn't want to. Like it's no longer kind of a level of curiosity. It's a level of like, no, I feel like maybe I sort of have to. Um,
Hmm.
and then there's a dude crawling behind her, which is just blah, 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 just the worst.
Uh-huh.
Um, next up, we have Safe Haven, the longest film in this anthology by far, and easily the one with the slowest burn of this filmmaking crew making a documentary about this like Indonesian cult leader. Um,
Hmm.
uh, I'm not entirely sure if we're supposed to understand, or if the subtitles for this were not working in the version I was watching. Um,
They were not working in the version you were watching
okay, that's interesting.
because I tried different subtitles
Okay,
and they worked.
okay, I kind of liked not having
Not
sub,
knowing
yeah,
anything.
not knowing anything, because I'm like, man, I don't know. They're going to school. Okay, this seems messed up. Oh, this whole thing seems messed up. All right, but okay, I don't really know what's going on here, but I my notes here are probably the funniest out of all of them. Of they're tracking a guy, question mark. This one has a real slow burn, and they say the leader makes an announcement, and then it turns into a horror movie. Oh no, it's a suicide cult. And then
Uh-huh.
the whole thing just goes super wrong. Um,
Go so far south so quickly.
Something is crawling on the ceiling. Everybody is shooting themselves or taking poison. That dude explode. That dude explodes. If you haven't seen this movie, I
Uh-huh.
cannot like undersell how explodey that dude explodes. Like
If you've seen the translucent hallway sequence from season 1 of The Boys, it's about that level.
Yeah, it's the like wettest I threw a bucket of paint down a hallway explosion sort of thing. Like it's gnarly, dude. And I just like so there's some interesting stuff in here of like the one guy is engaged to the woman and she's sleeping with the other guy and they're pregnant and oh no, they found a lady in the basement and of course the basement has the flickery horror lights in it and oh no, the something happened.
And don't forget the industrial sheets.
Yes, naturally
Um,
the industrial sheets in
so
the basement of the school.
so the context you're missing from this is basically it's a cult about going to another plane of existence.
Gotcha.
So they're trying to transcend the plane of existence that they're in.
Gotcha. So that's why everyone is taking care of themselves in the back half of this. Is like time to ascend.
Yes.
Let's go. Ugh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I I like a lot of this. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this on a service that will give me subtitles. Maybe just the first half. Um, I I like a lot of this. I like the it's the most unsettling of all of them, I think,
Uh-huh.
because for most of it it isn't supernatural. It's just,
Yes.
hey, something weird is going on here and I'm fairly sure very bad. Uh Not only because it's part of VHS, but also these things usually don't go well. Um I I think as everybody turns into zombies, I was sort of like, oh, okay.
I was disappointed in the zombie reveal too, if I'm completely
Yeah,
honest.
I do like that the camera guy or whatever guy on the crew that they have that turned into a zombie. That's kind of fun. I always like the like, Carl, are you okay? You know, that
Uh-huh.
sort of thing. But I think the like birthing scene was done pretty well. I'm like kind of a sucker for the like giant distended torso where something is like trying to push its way out. Then the knife coming out of the belly. I was like, okay, well, we got some
Oh,
messed
that's a
up stuff.
horn, bro.
I know.
That's
Well,
not even a knife.
that's when I thought it was a knife. Or I'm like, okay, someone like gave this baby a knife in utero. This is pretty interesting. And then seeing the goat demon here later, and I'm like, oh, that's the horn. Okay, and it kind
Uh-huh.
of chasing him through the whole place. This movie has a moment of like the most like suspension of disbelief thing of where like he manages to bring the camera back to his car and safely put it on the dashboard so it can see him and be like in real life it would be like, no, I'm leaving this thing, I'm dropping everything possible, I don't care about any of this stuff anymore, I gotta get away from this demon goat
Uh-huh.
baby thing. The car crash is well done. I i think they almost get there with the papa part.
Yes.
It's so close and I don't know what I would change. But like the ending where he's losing his mind and like the stuff is coming out of his nose and his mouth right at the camera, that's so
Uh-huh.
good. But they're just like,
That
pa.
performance is incredible.
Yeah, it's like it's no notes on his entire performance, but the like papa sort of thing is like it's really
Uh-huh.
close to being good and it's just a little too cheesy, like it crosses that line of cheesiness, I think, um, in a way that's sort of like, all right, you brought it back with the last shot there, especially as the tape kind of degrades. Um, but I, I I wish there was something a little bit different because I think if there was, this would be like an all time tape of just the whole thing unraveling and getting so much worse as they keep going.
Yes.
What do you think about this one?
It's a little bit too long, I think,
Yeah,
on this one.
yeah.
But genuinely, I thought it was pretty solid.
I feel like I don't know if this short needed so much buildup, especially in the like when they get to the like building church school thing. Because I feel
Hmm.
like you can show the women that are terrified and the leader and that classroom full of the young girls and the like church pastor, the like youth church pastor playing the guitar at the front. I'd be like, all right, I know exactly what's going on. Like you don't really need to kind of keep painting with this brush. You know, I can see what's happening here. But I think it gets to a cool place, but I agree with you. I wish it was a little bit shorter, especially because
Hmm.
all of these movies feel um, so much faster than that one, and that one feels so extended. So uh, I think that's a little bit rough. Um, we have our third interlude here for tape 49. I just wrote down, oh, she's dead. she 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 managed to off herself for some reason, um, and of course there's a tape that has like the word watch written on it in her
Uh-huh.
lipstick. So of course he just goes, I'll watch this tape. Why not? I'll sit down next to this corpse. I'll just let's check out a quick home movie here, um, which is Slumber Party Alien Abduction. This turns out to be our
I
second.
mean, it says it
Go ahead.
right on the tin.
Yes. This is our second film of VHS that has been turned into a full length movie. The first one was the first film in the first VHS, the one with the siren. That got split into its
Hmm.
own movie, which, by the way, I think at some point we're going to have to do a season of VHS spin off films. Um, but
Yes.
this got spin off into a movie called Kids versus Aliens, which is also a good title, but not as good as Slumber Party and Alien Abduction. Um, this one also has a quite a long setup of like the parents are leaving for a romantic weekend. Don't bother your sister. Hey, we have a tape we're doing. Her boyfriend is a real scumbag, and we're gonna get up to mischief and mayhem here with this camera. Um,
Hmm.
I really like the use of strobe lights in this one and kind of like flickering
Yes.
lights kind of throughout the entire thing. Um, I think the first time you get the big like overwhelming alien noise when they're all kind of jumping on the bed where the two teenagers are and they're making the noise and like that really overwhelming like that kind of noise comes in. I think
Hmm.
that's really good, and it's really interesting to that this film kind of accidentally turned into a combination of all the other films, of like you have the GoPro on the dog, you
Yep.
have the flashing lights kind of being the obfuscation for the aliens, who I think the aliens look 75% of the time I think the aliens look pretty scary, and 25% of the
Yeah.
time they look really bad in a way that I can't put my finger on, other than like, oh yeah, that's a dude in a suit, and that suit kind of didn't cost a lot of money. But like
Hmm.
when they're on the dock and they're crawling and they keep like making progress even though there's no light, that's pretty scary. But some of the other scenes are like, okay, I just
Yeah, I think it's when there's more of them standing up, walking around. I think that's when they look their worst.
yeah.
I think when they're doing the skittering motion, that's when they look their best.
I think the I agree, because I think the scariest part of it for me is when they're crawling up the end of the dock, and they're crawling like like hand over hand on their knees towards the camera as she's trying to resuscitate him. Like I think
Mhm.
that's the scariest shot in this, hands down. Um, and
Yes.
I think that kind of playing with the shadows and playing with the darkness there, I think works really well. Um, and like I think the extended scene of the aliens carrying them away in their sleeping bags, like, kind of doesn't work super well. I think it's like a little bit longer than it needs to be. It kind of ends
Out of
on. Oh god.
out of curiosity, did you see the alien in the water, the very, very first,
I saw like a
when they were
flash of
in?
something, enough to
Mhm.
say like, okay, there's something. Obviously, there's something in the water because it's a horror movie, but there's something in the water. Like, you guys should. Hey, you
Mhm.
should keep an eye out for the thing in the water. Um, I think this one has kind of like a one of the weaker endings, I think, out of all of them, which is kind of a bummer. Um,
One of the most annoying endings too, considering how much that doggo made it through.
yeah, and like also it's really wild to see a film just kind of kill a dog on camera. Obviously, it's not a real dog. Like, nobody writes your senators or anything. But like also it like that's a thing that movies kind of just don't do, other than John Wick 1 for sort of storyline purposes. Um, so it's
Mhm.
kind of weird to see the dog got at the end, and then kind of like that's the end of it. Like, the kids get abducted, and that's abducted or killed, and that's kind of it, which is a weird. It's another one. It feels very much like the zombie GoPro one of like, I have a really cool idea and we need to wrap it up. So they get abducted? Question mark. Like, it kind of, it feels like they had trouble wrapping it up.
Mhm.
I I, I think.
Yeah, I
Go on.
this one is the one that goes like, for me, this goes like somewhere between really fantastic and really not great at the same time. Like,
Yeah,
this is the one that ebbs and flows the most, I think.
and I think it struggles a lot too because it feels like it's over in a flash compared to Safe
Mhm.
Haven. Because Safe Haven was so long. This one, by the time this one's over, I'm like, oh, that was like 10 minutes. Like, okay, like that's not bad, but it kind of, in comparing it to Safe Haven, which felt like it was like 25 minutes long. This one is sort of like, oh, okay, like it's sure you're over, I guess. Um,
Mhm.
um, and then we kind of wrap up here with the epilogue with the the guy finish watching the film and then goes back to watch the other video that's there, where the guy on the laptop that's been filming tries to shoot himself, and
Yep.
in a horrifying way it doesn't go right. um, but in a really great shot when he stumbles back through the apartment there and kind of leaves by the back door, and then seconds later they bust in through the back door, and that's where the movie starts, is a really great moment of like, oh no, now we know what's in the
Yep.
house. It's this dude. um
Mhm.
and having her come back to life.
Which,
Good.
that's also the bang that you hear at the very start of the first tape when they're trying to break in
Yes.
through the window.
Oh, it's so good. Like, I'm such a sucker for the time loop stuff, and I'm glad we have two horror anthologies here that got like a kind of almost time loop thing back to back. Um, but I was a little bit bummed that she came back to life, because I was like, okay, is everything in this gonna
Uh-huh.
have zombies? Like, even the kind of like modern day stuff. I like the guy private investigator like immediately knows, well, I'm just gonna snap her neck, which I don't think is a thing that
Uh-huh.
normal people are gonna be able to do. So
No.
he just gives her like the Chokey Roberts and like snaps her neck, and he's like, okay, well, that's clearly good. And then in a shot I actually like, she comes back to life and like bends over backwards and starts skittering upside down. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Okay,
The
that
worst
one's
kind of the spider
yeah.
motions.
I'm like that one's way better. Like you should have done that. She should have been on the ceiling or something. Like this is way cooler. So of course he escapes into the closet like the guy in the first short does, and just pops her right in the head. And then of course
Uh-huh.
the dude
He's got
from
really good he's got really good aim bots though, because she's upside down, so you'd think he'd be aiming a little lower.
right
But when she sticks her head around the corner of the door, it's perfectly in line with where her head is.
his reaction
Like he's
time
got a
is
really good
great.
like wall hack.
Yes, that's right. Um, and then of course after he's done, he's like, "Oh no, what's this noise in the closet with me? Oh, it's the dude without a jaw who's got the waggly
Uh-huh.
tongue. He's gonna kill me." And then of course I love that he does the most social media influencer thing of gives a thumbs up before he stops the tape, with
Uh-huh.
his tongue all flapping around. My note here is, "Oh my God, his tongue was out, Jesus." Um,
Uh-huh.
it's the most understandable use of that kind of glitch artifacting effect of like, yeah, I don't want to see that. You can show me between the frames what's going on, and I've got a really good idea. You don't need to show me more than that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't need to see the full graphic detail in so much,
yeah.
4K-ness.
I saw when he didn't die on that tape. I can put the pieces together here.
Yep.
And that's the end of VHS 2. We just get another credit sequence here. Um,
Uh-huh.
what did you think of VHS 2 here, VHS 2, and then maybe what was your favorite short here?
I think my favorite one was probably the I one,
Mm-hmm.
which was, I'm gonna call it tape 2 in this collection.
Right, right.
The I think all in all, it was solid all around. It definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies
Yeah.
at certain points. My main thing with this is this felt a lot gorier than the previous one. Now, I don't know if that's just because it's been a year and I'm not remembering it correct,
Right.
but this one felt a lot more, let's push the envelope. Let's see how
Mm-hmm.
far we can go
Yeah.
with no budget and a whole bunch of gore bags all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. How about you?
I think, I think, um, was that one? Phase 1 clinical trials. That one might be my favorite. I think I agree with you. I think Safe Haven is probably a close second, just for the. To me, Phase 1 clinical trials gave me the shivers. Like you have that like
Mhm.
anticipatory shivers that you get with horror stuff, where you're just like, oh God, something's gonna jump out. This is the worst. Where Safe Haven had that, im- like that growing dread of like, I don't know how this is going to go poorly, but it's going to go poorly and it's going to be the worst. Um, so I think
Yes.
those are kind of my two favorite. I think Ride in the Park is my least favorite. Maybe coolest idea, worst execution, and then Slumber Party Alien Abduction is
Yes.
fine. Um, I really did like how the tape 49 stuff was done.
Mhm.
I I liked it being kind of the inverse of the first movie, where the first movie was every time someone watches a tape, they disappear, and there's less and less people in this big group, and I like this kind of slowly, um, this like descent into madness, and she's getting worse and worse and worse, and he kind of like doesn't know what to do, and she can't stop watching these
Mhm.
tapes, and I like that there are a lot of tapes in this house, but there aren't nearly as many as the first one. So it doesn't feel like a retread of the first movie. It really is. I have digitized these tapes trying to find the secret behind the perfect order of them. And I'm making.
Mhm.
I like that one of his last lines is like, "My mom and I want to make a tape of our own." Like that's a really
Mhm.
great set up for this entire thing, and then having it kind of loop back to the beginning of the movie. I thought the tape 49 stuff was really good, and I think even a little bit stronger for me than the first movie's one. And I liked it a lot. There's something about these two movies that I really dig, and I think it is this kind of. I was trying to think of it while I was watching it. I really dig this kind of
I
like.
think
Go ahead.
I only have one issue with tape 49,
Okay.
and that's during the recorded laptop video sections. He's talking about how all of these analog dishes or the analog recordings
Hmm.
of the things are what might be causing the issues.
Yeah, like some analog. He suspects that like the analog nature of these tapes is causing something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's all GoPros and digital.
Right. Right. I mean,
So,
that's sort of where it falls apart a little bit of like, yeah.
uh-huh.
And like, it's interesting to see these tapes sort of step it forward in time a little bit in an interesting way. These definitely feel more contemporary than VHS 1 did. But I think what works for me is that each of these shorts feels experimental in a fun way of like, okay, I had this really fun idea that isn't gonna it's not gonna be a full script and it's not gonna be a full movie. And I have a cool idea for a zombie wearing a GoPro. And it's like, yeah, man, okay. Go make that thing and we'll put it
Uh-huh.
in a VHS. Like I like that there's this kind of uh this experimentation on both ends of like the director or whoever's putting the films together is kind of trusting the filmmakers that have this wild kind of short idea. It's like, yeah, okay, let's just try it. And what's the worst that can happen? We have something that is kind of not super great, but is a fun idea. And I think that's what
Yeah.
I like about these the most is kind of there's nothing
They're
really
all super low budget and in a
yeah,
positive way. Open brackets,
exactly.
complementary, close brackets.
Right. And like there was a through line for the films in Tales of the Crypt, uh, where these were all like cautionary tales of, be a better person and you won't die or you won't get murdered or something. And then that kind of turns on its head at the ending. But I kind of like that there isn't a connecting through line through each one of the films. They leave the kind of the interstitial stuff to do that. And I like it's just like, man, I had a cool idea where aliens abduct these kids at a sleepover. It's like, okay, cool. Go shoot it. Give me 15 to 20 minutes of stuff. Like, yeah, here we go.
Uh-huh.
And I that's what kind of excites me about these movies. And that's what I kind of forgot about what I loved about the first movie and what kind of carried me through this one of like, okay, let's just see what's next, man. Like, let's see what kind of wacky idea you have, and that is what's going to carry me through the next year's movie, I'm sure as well. Of kind of like, yeah, what do you got? Like, show me what kind of B movie
Uh-huh.
you're going to shoot for a couple $1,000 and see what your cool idea is going to be and see if it works or not. Um,
Yeah, it'll be a solid 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
exactly. Yes. Speaking of that, let's look at our ratings here. IMDb is a 6.0 out of 10 with 47,000 ratings. Rotten Tomatoes a 70% on the tomato meter, a shocking 53% on the popcorn meter. And VHS 2 on Letterboxd has this at a 3.0 out of 5. I'm probably at that like 3 out of 5 thing of like, I had a lot of fun. They're not all
Uh-huh.
successful. They all tried something. The tape 40 whatever, I don't have my notes here. Tape 49 was fun and kind of like a cool spooky thing. It was good and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I mean, a solid 3.5 out of 10, or 3.5 out of 5, I
Yeah.
should say, for me. Um, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think the highs are as high as the previous one.
Yeah.
I don't think the lows are as low though at the same time.
True.
Like
True.
and like especially when I take this and I compare it with something like Tales from the Crypt, it's like you can see the change of sensibilities over time.
Mm-hmm.
If that was what was horrifying back then compared to what we got now, like, could you imagine going back in time and replacing a reel in the theater of Tales from the Crypt with VHS 2?
Right.
People would
People would actually
it would
die.
be that it would be that heart attack in the theater kind of
Yeah,
moment.
exactly. Yeah, I was looking here through the shorts from the first one. Amateur Night was the siren one, which I think is one of the high points of that first one. Second Honeymoon, that was the one where the woman was following them and like kills
Mhm.
that dude in the motel room. Um,
Yes.
Tuesday the 17th is the one oh right, that's the one where the glitch monster is haunting them and they kind of can't see it. I forgot about that one. Um, the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger, that's the one that still messes me up. The like Zoom Skype call one where the kid is in the background.
Uh-huh.
And then 10/3/1998, that was the like the witches in the house sort of one.
Yes.
Um, so like again in both of these, like you said, really high highs but kind of not great lows. But I think I agree with you that I think that first movie was maybe all together, like the average of all of them was maybe a little bit higher than the second one.
Uh-huh.
But still had a good time. Thought it was real good. All right. Thanks everyone. That's the end of the season. We just did a quick October spooky twofer here. If you want to hear what's coming up next on our next season, you can check out our Critical Misses production meeting over. You can be a support this show over on our Patreon page over at e1m1.cash.
Ones and numbers.
For the $5 tier, you get exclusive access to the production meeting. It's some of my favorite stuff we do. It really is kind of a fly on the wall episode. Like, we are just sitting there and just having production meeting. It is really fun because half of the time we're doing psychic damage to each other. And for this one specifically, we come up with a truly cursed new season idea that I think we come up with like 50 different ideas for. It quickly runs away from us in a way that is entertaining and a little worrying at the same time.
Comments welcome on our Discord channel.
Yes, and also please, we talk about it a lot on that show. Discord.tvgp.tv. Please come join the best community on the internet. I don't just say that because I like want to puff anybody up. It is the best community on the internet. Very welcoming, very kind, very accepting. And if you are a patron, you get access to the Patron Peeps channel, where oftentimes we ask you, hey, we have this idea for a season, but either we don't know anything about it, or we feel like we've kind of missed some stuff, or like there has to be a big movie or album or something in here that we've missed. Please let us know what it is and kind of do that. So we do greatly appreciate everybody's help, especially over there. So thanks everyone for their support. I hope everyone enjoys not only these episodes, but the production meeting episodes. And I hope you all enjoy the next season. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.